Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is the Modern Witchcraft Grimoire. Whatever, that word? Yep. Your complete guide to creating your own book of shadows by Skye Alexander. So as the title would suggest, this really does walk you through how to make your book of shadows. Honestly, I think it's filled with a lot of information that realistically you would be putting into your book of shadows. And it had some really good stuff in here. It had spell stuff, it had just random information stuff, but also like techniques and things that you might not think about. How often are you writing in your book of shadows? Genuinely, had never thought about it. Like, you know, I'm gonna be, what, like 16 years a witch this year, I think going on 16 years. And genuinely has not ever actually crossed my mind to be like dedicated. Like, I'm gonna write in it X amount of time. I do now, but that's more of part of my like work with a particular deity, of just like a specific day of the week that I sit down and do my ritual, and then I write in my book of shadows for it, right? In my section for journaling, but like otherwise I never thought about it. Like, it's just random stuff I'd never really considered. I give this one a 4 out of 5 star because, again, like, I did not anticipate liking this. Like, Skye Alexander's books are either like really well written or like like not that great, and you never know what you're gonna get into. And this was one that I was genuinely like, dude, this is actually like really good. I loved this book. There were parts of this that I was just like, yeah, actually, this is really awesome. And like for instance, because I always say that, and I never really go into a lot of specifics, but for me, the one that I took away was how to make a sigil. Has everyone ever talked about it? Yes. I watched, I think her channel name's like Witch of Wonderlust or something. I swear she had a video on it like years ago, and I tried to follow along, and it was like, just like make a pattern, and I could never. I've tried forever. I can't do it. This book, this gave me the instructions I needed to do it. And now I'm like, dude, sigils forever, man. Because it's a grid system. So you pick like your word, right? And I think the example she used was like strength. And then you have the like chart thing that has the letters and then the numbers and then the letters underneath. And then you trace out, like, you write down what those numbers are, right? And then you go over to the grid, and I guess it was like the number grid of like Saturn or something, but I'm like, I'm just gonna use that anyways because it's easy. But it looks like a Sudoku square. And you draw like a circle on like the starting number, and then you trace out where the, like, you draw a line to whatever the next number is, right? And then if it's like a double of like, I don't know, you have like 2 S's and like success or something, you would put like a little X on the line and then continue along, and then you do a little circle at the end. Oh my god, so easy. And then you have this weird little line thing that nobody knows what it means except you. So easy. It's so dumb that it took me, again, like 16 years of being witch, and now I'm like, cool, I know sigils, I love this is the best thing ever. Which I don't get very often. There's very few books that like actually are like, ooh, I could use that. Because I read a lot of these books, most of them I'm like, it's fine. But when I find stuff that I'm like, ooh, I could do that, that is awesome. That is something new to add to my toolkit. It's a good day. And that was a good day. Now there's a lot of other really good things in here. I think there's a lot of really good spells, a lot of good correspondence pages to add. There's really good information on like the moon and astrology as witches. Not just your natal chart for once. Oh my god, go figure. It's got like moon plus planet things and signs and stuff. It's so good. It's got so much information that if you are a new beginner witch, I think it's got everything you could really need to like get started on your book of shadows. It's amazing. Now obviously there's a couple things, like I don't love the love spell section, and like on page 229, not like a huge big warning about like leave your crystals in the sun or in water, like just the little things, you know, like even just like a little toss out, like make sure your crystal's not gonna bleach out in the sun or dissolve in water, but otherwise it's fine. But like, and I was getting nervous on like page 17 because it's like, above all, your grimoire is a tool you can use in your search for and discovery of the path of the goddess. And I'm like, eh. And it's kind of the very goddess romanticized past thing, not really grounded in archaeological like study and stuff. Again, the one chick who kind of messed up the writing world of the witches for a long time with her heavily disproven theory. And yeah, so a little bit of that. But on a whole, after a while, I was kind of like, you know, it's got other good stuff though. Like, it's actually really well written. Like, again, there's so much in here that the beginner witch could really get something from. Again, I loved the sigil stuff. That was pretty cool. It had a good like house protection. It had, what else did they have? Oh, they had like some good like quotes just like as affirmations to use. Like on page 151, I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled in every way. That's a great way to start your day. That's a good affirmation. And then on page 153, I am healed in body, mind, and any imbalance. I am healed in body and mind of any imbalances of any kind. That one doesn't roll off the tongue as easily. Maybe it will for other people. But it's got like some really good spells like no worries. That was one I really liked. And then you have like a candle spell to increase your influence. Like, you've got candle spells, stone spells, everything. It's got a little bit of everything in here. And I think it's a really good resource if you are a new witch and you're just getting started and you're working on making your Book of Shadows. This is a good one to grab. See if your local library has it. Support your local libraries. And then if it is one that you like, I always recommend you read through a book first before you just start doing the stuff from it. Read it cover to cover, then go through it. And this is one that I think a lot of beginner witches would get a lot from. Or if, like me, you're revamping your Book of Shadows, also gave you some ideas. Because with my Saturn return here, I decided to restart my Book of Shadows completely from ground one. Ground zero, that little tiny first square that you draw when you're making a house, that's where we're at with my Book of Shadows. And so I'm starting over because I have so much random crap that I've collected over the past like 15 years that it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna start over. Because it's in like 17 different books anyways. So I'm just starting over. So it's kind of weird to be reading this as I'm making my own Book of Shadows. I'm like, aw, this is kind of nice. This actually lines up. So if you're also revamping your Book of Shadows, regardless of where you're at, it's a good one to read through just to give you some ideas. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. A huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, I upload 5 days a week over on Patreon, plus the 7 days a week over here. Yeah, I do a lot. Anyways, thank you so much for coming along, and until next time, blessed be.